Okay, I just have to check to make sure the stream is running because I was having computer issues. Not the same kind of computer issues I normally have because I've basically done everything you possibly can to get rid of them. But Chrome crashed because I have like a billion Chrome tabs open because I was almost late for the stream because I was working on a bunch of things. So if you can see the stream, if you're watching the stream and the stream is working, please let me know. There's a million ways I could have done this. There we go, yeah, so it is working. Perfect. Okay. Welcome to the WordPress Q&A live stream. If you have any questions about WordPress, WordPress hosting, WordPress optimization, feel free to leave them in the live chat. If you're watching this after the fact, thanks, Stephen, feel free to leave the comments in previous videos or in this video or whatever video, and I'll try to follow up on it in future videos. My plan is to continue doing this like as much as I can Monday through Friday, just giving away an hour of my time. And if no one comes to ask questions, I'm going to work on the WordPress.org forums, as well as maybe some projects of my own, like personal projects. Heaven knows I have more than a few of those, but they'll be WordPress related projects, not the million other hobbies that I collect. You probably won't hear my 3D printer in the background today. I broke it the other day, and it still needs a little bit of fine tuning before it can run again. But I did get a really nice note from the team here that's distributing that stuff. So there's now over 100 3D printers locally, 30 medical student volunteers, 3,000 items printed, 850 items assembled. So yeah, the local team is doing quite well at making sure that all this PPE gets made. I'm going to load up no copyright sounds. So loud at first. I just need a little bit of background music while I work. It also covers up all the quiet points in the stream. And as you can see, we have the Press Time website front and center. I try to make sure I'm not too heavy-handed with what we're doing, but yeah, gotta promote what I'm doing, right? Especially during these trying times. There we go. I think that's a good volume. Nice and quiet. As usual, I have the health check and troubleshooting plugin open and ready to link to if anything comes up. Unlike Stephen and a lot of the other forum troubleshooting people, I don't have like a whole document full of like pre-written answers and stuff like that. I have a project of mine open in case we need to test something or do examples of things, and I have the posts with no replies loaded up. And there is quite a number. Wow, Stephen, where are you and your friends, P-T and the other people that are supposed to keep this queue small? I get it, though. There's so many people needing help, it's hard to keep up. Slow site, not acting as it should be, not showing on post. Elementor, oh. Deleting unused CSS. I'm assuming they mean unused. Error on mobile, the card doesn't work on phone. So a lot of these I can tell right away are going to be no can do, like either you need to contact a developer or you need to contact like the theme developer or like a custom developer or a plugin developer. Sometimes I think that's the downside of the community support forums, is that support is really distributed, right? So like if you go to a plugin, Stephen already knows this, but for those that don't, let's do this one. If you go to a plugin or a theme, you'll typically see that they have their own kind of support area. You can kind of create topics and ask them questions directly to the developer of that plugin. And I might have to step away at some point to get some lunch from the oven. But yeah, so you can see, like, for example, Jetpack has its own plugin forum where people answer questions there. So it's all the troubleshooting is kind of spread out all over the place, which I'm sure annoys certain people to no end. All right. Slow site, main thread work plus JavaScript execution time. Hi there, I'm encountering unusually slow website recently and 2 issues identified below. Seems like the desktop speed is relatively quick, but the mobile site is extremely slow. Is there any reason why they're not in sync? Because they're processed differently. It's funny, right? Because like modern cell phones, like if you have a 5G cell phone and a 5G connection, it's probably faster than most people's home internet. And beyond that, like the processors and things like that, screen resolutions are all beating what a lot of people have at home. Sorry about that, I was just talking to my wife. That's kind of what's happening. So let's see what issues they're having here. So they've linked to a post, which is nice, because if you do the homepage and the post, sometimes those have very different experiences. And we can see here on desktop it's 89, and on mobile it's 52. And we can see there's a full second difference. Even the desktop site, 3.8 seconds is not that great in my opinion. First CPU idle 1.6 isn't too bad. 1.9 time to interactive. Yeah, I mean it's not bad. I don't know. I mean, one of the big things is the server's kind of a little bit slow. So one of the downsides of a lot of themes is that they include a lot of CSS that you don't necessarily need to render it on the desktop version. I wish CSS was a little bit better at only including the CSS required to render the specific version of the site. It kind of reminds me of back in the day when we had like mobile.yahoo.com and stuff like that, where you would see a mobile version of the site that was completely unique and different than the desktop version, and thus it could be kind of more created just for that specific need. They're using Divi on a slow server. Lots of JavaScript, lots and lots of JavaScript. I mean, my recommendation is just work on your JavaScript, bud. Let's take a quick look at the actual website. Oh wow, okay. "32 references to .js. Anything in there that looks kind of strange? I mean, some of these plugins for the masonry might be a bit heavy. CAPTCHA, Google Tag Manager, all the stuff for Divi, lazy load. I don't see, like, yeah, it's a fair bit of JavaScript, but it's not as bad as some of the sites we've looked at. The DS Suite plugin has me wondering what the heck that is. Battlesuit for Divi. Look at this! Thank you. My wife brought me lunch. I don't know when I'm going to have a chance to eat it, but at least I don't have to leave and come back. Alright, so Battlesuit for Divi. What is Battlesuit for Divi? So extensions for Divi. So, I mean, Oh my goodness, where'd it go? What's it? Defer and async. So those are two calls in JavaScript that you can use to kind of help your JavaScript load a little bit better on sites like this. They are using like some kind of JavaScript to load to load in the JavaScript that they need, and I do have it set to async on here, which is great. And I do have some set to defer. I mean, so they're doing some good things here. Whoa, look at this. They have the entire font included as a as a base 64 encoded piece of text. And they've done that with images and stuff too. Why? Man, I can't spell. Not that Phase 64 decoding is very difficult, but again, if he's looking for optimization suggestions, I think that's about as good as they're going to get on this forum. If you're still here, Steven, do you do optimization tickets at all, or do you just kind of pass on those? A lot of what we do at Press Titan is optimization. People pinging me. All right. The header section is not acting as it has to be on Bootstrap for Grid Systems 12. So they're using Bootstrap. It's 12 column. Now, I try to use the class container in place on a container fluid for my header and footer section because I saw on large screens it's getting all the width of the screen and becoming very ugly. Yeah, I don't know. Not a problem for me, unfortunately. Video is not showing on a post. What the heck is modest branding 1? I guess it's to reduce how much branding there is around the video? Oh, sure. I'm trying to embed a YouTube video on a post using a custom HTML block because I also need 2 parameters to the URL. Interesting. I think that the media embeds might try to override this. I wonder what code is being actually output from the HTML block, and did they... Is it not even outputting? There's this. But that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for one in the post, I think. Or was that in the post? No, I'm also on YouTube. Okay, that's the sidebar. That's sharing icons. Yeah, it's not showing up in the post at all. Is there anything wrong with their... I mean... They're missing a quotation there. Man! Wish could spell. His fingers sometimes. Sometimes I can type really quickly and really accurately, and other times they just are like meat sausages just doing their own thing. Links on main turned unclickable. Issue resolved if browser history was clear. I'm new to WordPress using Thrive Architect to design main landing page. I ran into an issue today while adding a new blog. All the links on the main page turned unclickable. Links in the menu worked fine. I tried accessing the blog on phone. Noticed same issue. The issue was fixed on my computer browser and phone after I deleted browser history. I'm concerned I'll lose return traffic if they experience the same issue. Yeah, I get their concern, but there's not really much that can be done about that. What else can you say to someone like this, right? Like, if they know what the issue is, they know what the resolution is, then it's really just all about waiting it out. Even your local browser cache expires after a period of time. I hate throwing people away like that, but delete unused CSS. I swear this person had a ticket yesterday too, Gaelic Delight. Yeah, they had the images not showing up in their store. So what they're doing is they're running like a test on Google PageSpeed Insights or whatever, and it's telling them to delete unused CSS. It's such a small thing, it's not even worth pursuing as an optimization. just to be completely honest. Unless you have like just a ton of it, but oftentimes that isn't the case. Their bigger issue is that they need to deal with their JavaScript. They need to serve a couple scaled images. Don't worry about that. Yeah. Why can't I think? Okay. I hope everyone's having a good Friday. A good Friday. As we roll into this weekend, Easter weekend. I think Easter's canceled, right? Yeah, it is Easter weekend. But I think most people are just staying at home and trying to make it through, you know? And if you're not trying to stay at home and make it through, what are you doing? I changed something in the settings and now I have a failure on my mobile website, but I don't know which setting it is. Can somebody help me? Fastest cache. An NL site. Oh, whoa. I don't think you have just an issue on your mobile site. Or rather, I guess I'm seeing the mobile site. Wow. Okay. Yeah, people install these caching plugins and they make it so that a visitor comes and views the mobile website and then the mobile version of the site is cached and then served to everyone. And then they clear the cache and someone comes and sees it the desktop site and then the desktop version is shown to everyone. And yeah, that's not great. Might be a spacing thing, might be a layered thing, maybe they have something in the way. I'm not sure. Hate to eat on stream, but I'm just gonna do that for a second. Excuse me. You know how you get used to certain noises in your house or whatever? Not having my 3D printer running for over 24 hours has been really weird. Because it's been running like constantly pretty much since I got it. Especially during this whole crisis. Custom field in comments section. Buddy Press created a profile field called job title. Is there a way to customize the comment section of a blog post so this profile field job title is shown along with the user's name? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know of a plugin that can do that, but I'm sure there is one. Maybe if Steven or someone else knows, they can point you in the right direction. Bibbly Bob. I want to delete my title for shop page. Oh boy, here we go. I sometimes want to open these on my other monitor just to make sure they're not like, wow, is this page ever going to load? Is your server on the moon? Handcrafted bridalware. Okay. Very pretty. Okay, so for their shop page. Well, how am I supposed to tell which page is their shop page? I'm just going to go to /shop. And now I gotta wait. Okay, apparently their shop page is not /shop. Maybe they mean that this whole thing is their shop, and they want that title on the home page to not be there. This thing right here. Do a little code thing. I think that's all they need. I didn't even check to see if it was like a paid theme or something, and it's WooCommerce. I mean, what do? Do you make them go? It's hard, right? Because now I'm making them do something that's a bad habit to get into. Rename user avatar. I'd like to rename user avatars according to the username. Interesting. I want to rename the file. Not something I can help with, I'm sorry. It's a cool idea, but... Problem with HTML when converting to blocks. The problem I find is when I convert to blocks from a page previously written in Classic Editor, very often HTML gets screwed up, for instance, this code. I mean, yeah, it's going to get messed up because it has these shortcodes in them. Sometimes. Classic block still exists, right? I'm not crazy. Excuse me, yep. If I could spell and type properly. What is wrong with the CSS of my widget? The above is the website that I'm working on. The widget title is supposed to be at the top column of the widget area. I don't know what I missed out. And it forms one of the columns in the widget itself. How do I resolve? Below is the CSS of my sidebar. Not sure, sorry. Always feel bad when I don't know the answer. Embed PDF. RSS entered into custom field but not displaying in live site. Interesting. Can't edit page with SVG code. Creating a checkout process like Whoop. Scheduled actions. Looking for blog layout solution. Grinding through these the best that we can. I'm also going to turn off my camera again for a second so I can eat more. I mean, maybe they've already tried this, I'm not sure, but that's my suggestion. They have a set width, maybe their theme is dealing with the fact that it has an element inside of it with a set width and not shrinking down right. Might be that's my thought. Excuse me. My goodness. Sorry, everyone. Try to make sure I eat before or after I do these from now on. It's awkward. While trying to edit a page with bare SVG code, 300 lines and 942 kilobytes, I get a fatal error, allowed memory size of 26 billion or million bytes or whatever. 268 million bytes. Tried to allocate another 966,000 bytes and couldn't. Ordering is not a word, according to this. Alright, whatever. Am I allowed to link to Kinston here? I just did. Now someone like Steven might have to go in there and remove it or something, I don't know. Couple more bites. I'll be right back. I know you all miss seeing my lovely face when I'm not on camera. What do you mean you don't have WooCommerce? Yeah, I would never link to like Press Titan or even my personal site. And I would never suggest someone buy any service. Strange. I have discovered that I have scheduled actions in my tools on my admin page. What is that? How did I get it? I did a search and was taken to a support page in WooCommerce that discussed it being part of WooCommerce, but I don't have WooCommerce. I'm not sure. Like, it's likely due to a plugin that the person has. We link to the health check. Almost every time I do this, I link to it at least once. I think there was a stream where I linked to it like 4 times in a stream, so it's a pretty powerful tool. I want to build a do-it-yourself blog with lots of tutorials, but I want that attributes like, for example, skills needed, time needed, difficulty display on the blog layout page near the thumbnail or over the blog post snippet. Been searching for a while but found nothing. Is there a theme or plugin for that? Is it a little bit ironic to tell the person who wants to do a do-it-yourself blog to do it themselves? If you're still here, Steven, I'd be curious. Do you see a lot of people self-promote in the WordPress.org support forums? I don't care which page builder tool they use. I might seem like I'm a huge Elementor fan. That's just because when you turn Elementor off, it doesn't always break your entire site. Creating a checkout process like Whoop. Anyone know what Whoop is? Should I be going there? Whoop. Alright. So you get a strap. Steven says, yeah, we shut it down pretty fast. There was a reply to a topic on which you replied, for example. So another person replied to one of the ones that I replied to, and they promoted something for themselves. People, eh? Now, to be completely fair, I mean, I'm not doing this live stream out of the goodness of my heart, right? It's selfish in a way because I'm hoping that over time it proves my expertise and maybe I get some more business for Press Titan, but I'm not going to directly promote Press Titan in helping those people. Oh, I'm sure it's probably in my email. So that's the accessory. And then we click continue and it asks for a membership. That's kind of interesting. So, I mean, I think WooCommerce could do something like this, but I don't really know how to make it do this like staged kind of accessories, right? Because even the membership is kind of like an accessory to the product. It's kind of interesting. Steven says, right, contributing back to the community and helping your brand don't have to be mutually exclusive. Yeah, and I think that's sometimes confusing for people how to navigate those waters and what that should look like. Yeah, this is not exactly what they're looking for, but this is kind of neat. Yeah, so this is a mandatory accessory that automatically got added with it. I didn't get to select that. These are optional ones. I would have liked to have been able to... I'm sure there's a way to do it, I just don't know how. Because that is a pretty slick checkout process. So I'll leave that to someone else to reply, I suppose. Add roles after checkout. WooCommerce. I have been having a very hard time and could really use some help. I'm new to code, but trying to learn. I have a field sell products, and if yes selected, add vendor and membership user role, example PM Pro role 1. If no selected, then only add PM Pro role 1. I've been trying to use do action. Oh, they're trying to code this. Weird. I mean, there are lots of tools that should allow you to do that. Like you can create users with Gravity Forms on a checkout form. I think you can do like with most LMS tools if you wanted to, or membership tools like Paid Membership Pro or things like that. I don't necessarily think you should code it yourself. And I'd have to see a lot more code and understand a lot better. Like, trying to help someone code in a support forum is so difficult. I wish it wasn't, but it is. Let's look at unresolved topics. Let's see what's going on in unresolved. Why aren't all these things resolved? I wish I could sort unresolved by last post. Converting multi-site back to single site. That's interesting. I used to have my site hosted through PhotoShelter. Their blog interface was terrible, so I created a WordPress blog subdomain and then just linked to the PhotoShelter site. Enter Corona and I'm cutting expenses. Decided to convert my entire site over to WordPress. I use my site for portfolio, contact, and information about me, so it's very simple and straightforward. When I add my main domain to WordPress, it put me into the multi-site realm. I don't need the blog subdomain anymore and like to return to the simpler single site interface. I'm a new WordPress user and I'm spending way too much time trying to figure out how to navigate these blah 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 blah. Just install, like, export all your stuff, install WordPress from scratch and import it. Like, I don't understand why this is so difficult. Web hosts probably are going to hate me over a period of time, right? If I answer like 20,000 questions with talk to your web host, eventually I'm going to get a nasty email from one of them, aren't I? Like, it's pretty certain. Change a record. What's Steve say about this? I bet there's a lot of people that get confused between WordPress.org and WordPress.com still. That's hard. And the fact that Bluehost told them to contact WordPress.org, like leading them down the wrong path, that sucks. What would be a good hook to use to track site visits? Well, that's not a very nice answer, T-B. Jeepers, that was loud. Sorry about that. I had to format my computer again the other day, so I'm still trying to deal with all of the changes and get it back to my normal, regular way of being. I should really just start imaging my computer once I have it set up. But I mean, it's only usually my boot drive that I have to worry about because all my data and like media and all that stuff is all on other drives. So just getting like Windows back up and running and installing a few programs. I'm double checking your work, Steve. Is it Steve or Steven? I know this is Steve on WordPress.org support forums, but it's Steven on YouTube. No security. Hey, you said please contact your host. I feel vindicated. Using Gutenberg without WordPress. I really love the Gutenberg project. Is there a way to use it without WordPress? So this is Gutenberg for Laravel products. That's neat. I don't think it would include the media library though. Oh, okay, I see what they're saying. Didn't Drupal also do a Gutenberg thing? Ooh, go away. I haven't heard about this Laravel project before. That's kind of neat. Well, that didn't work. Oh, here we go. Ooh. $404 not found. That's hilarious. Oh, that's great. All right. Refresh. How to remove the WP-DIE error message from the site. I don't know why I didn't see this one before. Oh my goodness, okay. I just completed the migration of a website from a shared hosting to VPS server. I had 2 errors come up after migration to the new host. Internal server error 500 and critical error. I solved the issue by finding 2 culprit plugins and then replacing the WP includes WP admin folders in the file manager. The issue I have now is that the blog category page of the website has been truncated. It doesn't look like the category template was set up to look and shows this text. Let's try that. Could be wp-config or whatever has error logging enabled and or error display enabled. I think that's one of the options that you can have. Another thing is why the error is still showing up. So if you do have error logging enabled, then hopefully it can tell you what's going on. And yeah, if you've resolved all the errors, or if you're confident that you've resolved them all, then maybe it's a caching issue, but that's unlikely. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I got a response on one of the thingies. Okay, thanks. So someone just said okay, thanks to one of mine. So hoping for more than that, but that's okay. Redirect to new URL but shows old URL. Interesting. Yeah, I thought it was going to be that they had like an option that still shows the old URL. I can't remember what it's called. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it's called. Yeah, I've found many people not realizing they're trying to use htaccess redirects or an htaccess file on a host that doesn't support it. But with that, I think I am going to go get some more work done. So thank you so much, Steve, for coming and saying hello. I really appreciate it. And for everyone else, have a great day. And feel free to leave comments if you need me to answer a WordPress-related question. Have a great day.